Hey there, welcome back to another adventure on Joey the Farm Dog. One of the things I told you guys I was going to discuss on this channel was things that were on my mind. And a lot of times, things that are on my mind really get processed while I'm out on my pasture walk with Joey and my two other livestock guardian dogs, Bo and Franny, that I talked about yesterday on why they're not pets. But I thought what I would do today, I'm inside, I'm going to talk about it. I pulled out some old audio equipment, hoping that it would improve the sound quality that you guys are listening to. But while I'm talking, I did take some shots of the pasture walk. So I thought what I would do is just kind of disperse them throughout this discussion so you can feel like you're on the walk with me when I was thinking about this. So let's go for a walk. So, as we headed out today for our pasture walk, I was just really enjoying my morning. I was looking around. We have some snow on the mountains back here, as you can see, and the sun was just sort of shining through the clouds, and it was pretty cold, but you know, when you're looking at beauty like this, it makes up for it. And I started thinking about how awful it would be to see this gone. It really had me thinking about how terrible these wars are that we're dealing with right now. And when I say we are directly involved now. Most of us know that there is a war going on between Ukraine and Russia. Not as many of us know how involved we are now. For those of you that don't know, last week, permission was given to Ukraine to strike into Russia with our ATACMS missiles. And what directly involves us with that, specifically the United States, is the fact that those missiles are guided by our intelligence satellite systems. So without the assistance of us directing those missiles into Russia, they would have never got there. So that puts us directly involved with this war. The United Kingdom also gave Ukraine permission to send in their Storm Shadow missiles. Russia did respond, and they responded with something that has never been used in the history of all of our wars, and that is an IRBM, which is an intermediate range ballistic missile. It was first believed that it was an ICBM, which is intercontinental ballistic missile, and they are similar, minus the fact that the intermediate range is able to shoot at a shorter distance than intercontinental. That means one continent to another, so it's going to need more distance to travel. It is my understanding, I could be wrong, but it is my understanding that these missiles both can be equipped with nuclear warheads. Russia is threatening to use more IRBMs, as is Ukraine sending more Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. I just look around this beauty that we're all surrounded with. You know, you may live in the city, you may be in what they call the concrete jungle, but you can't be that far away from something from a drive, a bike ride, whether it's into a park in your area to look at, you know, beautiful birds in a tree or something. There's beauty that surrounds us, and if you don't feel you're around it, I'd imagine you're not too far away from being able to get to somewhere where it is. And I never imagined at 48 years old, I would be waking up wondering if we're going to see nuclear war here. And I'm not trying to sell fear on my channel, so please don't hear that. But it is a reality, and I do fear it. And I feel that the majority of us that are fearing this want peace. We are not in any way, shape, or form supporting this warmongering that we are seeing going on within our government. And I believe a lot of us also feel kind of helpless and like our hands are tied behind our back. what can we do? I mean, I can tell you what I don't want to do is send my 18-year-old son over there to fight in this war or be drafted into this war. So for some reason, the peace symbol comes to mind, and I love to use this symbol. I love the emoji of it. I do it all the time because it's such a simple gesture to speak such a huge stance, and that's that you want peace. So I got to thinking about this sign, and I got to thinking about the other universal sign for peace, which is this. And I wondered to myself, where did these come from? I mean, I know when I was a kid, you know, the hippies in Woodstock, they did that. And of course, the other peace symbol was very prevalent there as well. But I knew nothing about the history or where those came from. And I did a little research, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I think it'd be interesting to see and to hear, and something maybe we can do a little something with.
The peace symbol was designed by Gerald Holtham of England in 1958. The design encompasses the letters N and D in semaphore alphabet and suggests human despair in front of a globe. The design was inspired by Hugh Brock, a British pacifist, editor of Peace News. It was later adopted by British Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament and was never trademarked and has become a worldwide symbol of peace. This design was adopted by the Vietnam War in the 1960s. However, usage of it was introduced in 1941 and has been used as a V for victory in World War II allies, which you will see Winston Churchill in this picture here flashing that symbol. Another interesting fact, it can be used offensively in some Commonwealth countries by holding the palm inward toward the signer, similar to giving the middle finger, and that dates back to the 1900s.
I hope you guys like that. I found that really interesting. I really had no idea where the history of any of that came from. I also hope that we can readopt these and use them more, you know. Send a signal to your neighbor, someone at the grocery store. I feel like it would be a great way to keep us united and keep us remembering we all want the same thing. We don't want to wake up to nothing outside our window. I think it's also another really good way for us to take back a little bit of power and remind our employees that we give our tax dollars to that we don't want this. We don't want this, and we want peace. And the more, you know, what do they call it? Information wars. This is our information war. We are going to just keep doing this because we do not want to see this escalate. And again, I'm not here to sell fear, but I would encourage all of you that maybe aren't, you know, paying attention or spending enough time just kind of keeping up what's going on. Try to stay informed, you know, on a general level and just kind of know where we're at. I think it's very important for us because we need to stay united as a nation and get our peace back. Thanks everybody for watching.